Okay, so this is going to be a video about embedding videos into PowerPoint and Keynote presentations, and the way that we do it as the Orange County Church of Christ. And I know you may be thinking, like, how can you explain Keynote if you're clearly on a PC? Well, the idea is that the way that we deal with things is more based on a principle than it is on the technicalities of how to embed a video into a Keynote presentation or into a PowerPoint presentation. The way that we do it enables us just a lot more troubleshooting abilities later on, and that's really simply why we choose to do it this way. It's easier for us to actually have the file, the video file that is, than it is to try and figure out what went wrong with an embedded video that's now part of a PowerPoint file and we can't pull the video out of it. So it's a lot better for us to have the video file to begin with, regardless of its type. This particular example happens to be a Windows Media video file, but it doesn't have to be Windows Media video. It can be anything. It could be MP4, MPG, AVI, pretty much anything under the sun. Even some of the harder to get formats like MKV and things like that. So it's really not an issue as far as file type goes, but more on just giving us the audio video crew more of an ability to troubleshoot when a trouble arises, which unfortunately seems to happen quite often. But so here I have a sample presentation that just has, you know, a kind of just a mock-up of an example of a presentation that might have, you know, 4 slides and a video in between them. So we have slide 1, slide 2, video, slide 3, slide 4. So typically this would be the way that you would do it. You'd go in here and you'd insert your video from a file and you'd select it and import it or embed it. So that's one way to do it. The problem is, as I said, that really kind of takes some troubleshooting ability away from us, and it's harder to work with in the long run for us. So the way that we prefer to do it is actually to save 2 PowerPoint files. If you're working in Keynote, then you need to export to PowerPoint, and then give us 2 PowerPoint files. Or if for some reason you can't figure out how to split the Keynote or PowerPoint file up into multiple files, just give us one solid PowerPoint file with one solid PowerPoint file with maybe markers for where the videos go. You know, in this case, you could call it, you know, Hope Video or something like that. And you don't even have to have the video in there. But that way we know that a video goes there and that's the name of the video. But just a brief overview on how we would achieve this, how we would split the file up. I'm just going to basically create a new PowerPoint, blank document, and then I'm going to select the first 2 slides. And I do that by clicking and control-clicking the second one, and that allows me to select both of them. And then I'm going to copy them, and then I'm going to go to that other file. I'm going to delete this. It's a lot easier with the delete button. And then paste in those files, or those slides. And then I'm going to save this. And we're going to save it as part 1. And desktop is fine, so I'll click save. And then we're going to go back and we're going to select slide 3 and 4 again with the control click and copy it. And then come back over here and we're going to delete these and paste slide 3 and 4, and then we'll do file, save as, and this will be part 2. And that's it. And that's really as simple as it is. So now instead of this slide 1, slide 2, Hope Video, whatever, video slide, slide 3 and slide 4, what we'll end up with is right here we have part 1, which has slide 1 and slide 2, and then we have part 2, which has slide 3 and slide 4. So in essence, the way that we're going to deal with it is we're going to put the video in between the two. And what you see here is actually the way we deal with them in the program that we use called MediaShout. And MediaShout works more like a playlist than it does PowerPoint, things like that. It's actually a playlist of files. So in our case, we would start with part 1 and drag in there, and then the next thing to come after part 1 will be the video, and then part 2 comes at the end. So now we have, if I expand all these so that you can see the slides in them, see, this is part 1, the file, these are the slides inside of them, part 2, the file, and then the slides that are inside of those. And then if I take part 1 and I look at the first slide, it's slide 1, and then the second slide, slide 2, and then we have the video, and then we have slide 3 and slide 4. So there's our presentation. So it kind of takes us reassembling it, but in the long run, it's a lot easier for us to have control of this file and all the settings that we have, things like stretching it, scaling it, doing all kinds of things, changing the way that it forwards, you know, at the end of the video. It can automatically advance to the next slide, or at the end of the video, it can just stop with a black screen. We have a lot more control that we can set up any way we want. So that's the way we prefer to do it here in the AV ministry. So if you guys want to try and do that for us, that would be super helpful. It just gives us a lot more troubleshooting ability to actually have that video file than it would if it were embedded, because when it's embedded, it becomes part of the PowerPoint file, and especially if you're working from Keynote and embedding a video and then trying to export into PowerPoint with an embedded video, it's even less likely to work. So again, the easiest way is just do one of two things. Hopefully save, you know, 2 separate PowerPoint files, a part 1, a part 2, even a part 3, part 4 if you have multiple videos in your presentation, and then put, you know, just give us your PowerPoint files, and that way we have everything we need. So that's really it. Oh, sorry. Either do it that way or just save a solid, you know, PowerPoint file, just long, whatever, with little markers as to where the videos go. And that's plenty for us to be able to go in and break up the video or break up the PowerPoint ourselves, and then stick it in there and stick the video files where they belong. So I guess to make things short, don't worry about embedding the video. Just give us the video and give us the PowerPoint, and then we can put things together and make them work. So that's it. Hope you guys learned something from the video, and have a great day.